Number 217 is the female deity, and this is from Nukoro, which is in Micronesia, 18th to 19th century, wood about 16 inches tall. So some context about where we're coming from. Nukoro is an atoll that is a ring of 46 tiny islets that surround a lagoon. And this is in Micronesia. I think I said that. All right, function. So there were multiple of these. These would represent the local deity or the local god, some sort of divine being. They would not have been nude, right? We see these sculptures as not having any coverings on them. They would have been decorated with feathers, with flowers, with wrappings, cloth, fiber, headdresses. Something would have been offered to these deities and wrapped around them. These would have been used during important religious ceremonies, most likely that marked the beginning of harvesting time. And then during these rituals, these sculptures would have actually been considered the resting place of the god. And these sculptures would have been placed inside of these kind of sacred houses. We could think of them as temples. All right, so here's some multiple views of our female deity. So what are some similarities? These are different female deities also from Nukoro, right? But they're all very similar. So what we're seeing here is kind of an established canyon, an established traditions of how carvers would have carved the wood, all to have similar features. So here's a list of visual characteristics. I wouldn't write all of them down, write a few of them. Overall, it says down here, minimalistic, simplified form. It says ovoid head, very egg-like shape. Hands linked to the body. So write down a few of these visual characteristics. Where it says, angular body, stylized. Lines. Lines are used to indicate features, right? Very simplified. Nothing is really overemphasized except for maybe the top, leaning up to the top of the body. But if you compare that to fertility figures, right? Like the Venus of Willendorf, this is one of the oldest art pieces. You could hold it in your hand, and we think of it as something representing fertility because of the features that are being emphasized here, right? So everything is kind of being de-emphasized in the Nukoro female deities. Yep, established artistic canyon. All right, so overall, we need to know this is a highly stylized representation of the human. Never mind, it's also very shiny. So these would have been polished with a pumice rock to achieve this glossy surface. And then the way the artist depicts these shoulders being wider than the hips really brings your eyes upward. And then this relates back to that concept of the importance of the head, the seat of wisdom. This is where your mana resides. All right, and then when we get to, I believe, Unit 4, we have the artist Brancusi. So this is the artwork on the right that Brancusi has that's at the Nelson. And then in the middle, this is the one that's in our image set. It's called The Kiss. But you can relate this highly stylized, almost abstracted, simplified depictions of humans to the work of Brancusi. All right, later function. So colonization happens, and then with colonization comes this idea of new religions. So once everybody is kind of converted to Christianity, they no longer have all these multiple gods. They no longer have a purpose for these sculptures. So the sculptures are going to lose their function when colonization happens. All right, that is all.